Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
What's good, Cowboys Nation? Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Cochran Firm and Boston Scientific. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! If that jam don't get you going, woo, timeless. My kids, they can play that forever. But this week, we're playing that for the return of Dak Prescott. Yes, sir. We will preview the Cowboys offense against the Lions defense. And let's just say it is not a good look for that Lions defense. We'll talk about it. In the roundup, good news. Good news. More role players could be returning. We'll listen to that. And then we'll also take a look or listen to our resident doctor, Dr. Boothby, who sheds light on the return of the Dak Prescott injury, right? So we'll talk about Dak's hand, which has been healed up. And if you missed it, make sure y'all run that thing back and go listen to Dr. Boothby. But we'll play a clip here. And then we'll talk about what I think will be returning with Dak Prescott under center. And I think you guys should be excited about it, man. We all should be, right? We all should be. But listen, now I want to listen to that song. I kind of want to play it, but I ain't going to do that because you know how YouTube get real weird. They're probably going to get me anyway. They probably got him. We got you. It's all good, though, man. Anything for y'all. Shout out to the Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
Hey, Professor Rose said return of scoring points. Yeah, probably that too. But I will say this, against this defense, that probably would have returned anyway. But we'll get to it. Hey, if you want to call in, you can. 351-999-3787 is the call-in line. Come on in. The water is warm. Unless you called in yesterday on Vacha Show, then the water ain't warm because that was a crazy show if y'all missed it. But we're going to have a good one today. I'm excited to talk about the return of one Dak Prescott. I'm excited to talk about why I think this game particularly could be a good bounce-back game for the offense in general, period. You know, you need some of those. And, again, I'm not trying to disrespect an NFL team, but let's just be real. This Lions defense is not good. And sometimes you need one of those get-right games. And I think this could be one of those get-right games, man. I do. All right. Let's go ahead and hit this roundup, y'all. Get into this good football content. My guy L said you cannot miss shows. That is correct. You absolutely cannot miss shows. To my lady. Okay, so she did hit me up. Okay, I thought somebody hit me up about that. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Hey, yo. James Washington might be back, Cowboys Nation. Not anytime soon, though, but we do have a James Washington update. I've been getting that question a lot on Twitter. People been hitting me up, hey, or on Instagram. What's up with James Washington? Well, finally, he spoke to the media. Pat Walker got some answers up out of him. He said this, quote, "No setbacks. I'm just waiting for my shot, waiting to get back. I feel great physically. They're doing a great job, they, as in Britt Brown and those boys, of helping me get back, and I'm looking forward to the day that I do. It's more of a feel thing. I wouldn't put a date on it, but it's feeling great, that's for sure." So we talk about, you know, when you have a major injury, a lot of the time it's a mental hurdle. The physical part of it'll literally heal, but it's a mental hurdle of getting yourself back right. And then not even just a mental hurdle, but like having I guess it is mental confidence, right? In your foot, knee, leg, whatever it may be, shoulder, whatever. And we're at that part with James Washington. I'll talk about this here in a second once we get to the Wednesday injury report, but I was looking forward to having a healthy James Washington because I would have loved to have kind of that slot guy, but we really don't right now. I don't want to judge this wide receiving group just yet because Ford was out, different quarterback situation, teams play you differently. Ford's back, but we're getting close to that trade deadline. I just wonder, but just put a pin in that real quick, just for a quick second. Terrell Basham, also Cowboys defense end / edge, is on his way back. His 21-day clock has started. It's been activated, I believe, yesterday in Wednesday's mock game, a.k.a. walkthrough, and we'll get to that in a second. So what that means is, for those who are not aware, you know, he's on IR. You have to start his 21-day clock to return or keep him out for the remainder of the season. I would love to welcome Terrell Basham back. Remember in preseason in the camp, he was having the offseason of his life. He was playing like a madman. And then in the first week before he got injured, he was carrying over some of that pass rush stuff. You know, in 8 pass rush attempts, he had 2 pressures. So, you know, he was starting to get it going, and then he got hurt, and they had to put him on IR. Now, I understand that means that somebody in the rotation may, you know, get some snaps taken back, but I don't think they're getting their snaps taken back from Bradley and Nye. And I'm not trying to come at Bradley and Nye. I'm just saying Terrell Basham has showed some things in 2021, and you could see him getting back to that level, if not exceeding that level in the offseason. So I look forward to getting Basham back, man. Look, when you have a defense like this that relies on a whole bunch of players, I don't see the negative effect of getting another player back that can do some productive things for you. Throw his ass in that rotation and pause. Oh, Lord. If you don't know that song, you don't know what I'm talking about. But put him in the rotation and let's see what we got. I'm moving on. This is y'all fault. Wednesday's injury report. Hold on, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I don't know how I couldn't be on TV, y'all. Don't ask me to be on TV. Appreciate y'all for tweeting at me and at me for the Dallas Cowboys gig, but listen, man, it just ain't gonna happen. Wednesday wasn't a real practice. It was a mock game / walkthrough practice. So it's kind of hard to read into the injury report, but nonetheless, that's what we got. Dak Prescott was full, of course. Dalton Schultz was full, and Jason Peters was full. I'm more so interested to see about Jason Peters and Dalton Schultz. Well, not Peters, he played, but Dalton Schultz today. Because today, they'll have a padded practice. So we'll see about that. But the one that stood out to me was CD Lamb. He was limited with a hip injury. And I'm not trying to put too much stock into it just yet, but I don't like to see the term or see the word hip. You know, in that injury column, that's 2 weeks in a row. For a wide receiver, I don't like hip. He did play. He's probably going to play again. I don't have concerns about it, but this wide receiver group is just, banged up. It's not quite where I wanted it to be. If I'm being completely honest, Cowboys Nation, it's not where I wanted it to be at this point in the season. Now, a lot of that has to do with Dak being gone. Michael Gallup is still getting back in the swing of things. He probably won't be Michael Gallup till, the latter part of the season. James Washington got hurt. Lamb has been up and down. Is it wrong to be looking into the trade department? I want to ask y'all that. I want to get y'all feel on that. Is it wrong to kind of look for some extra help, some extra bodies to throw into this mix? Maybe a niche player, speed guy. Kind of got one on the team. I'm so torn on this, Cowboys Nation, because I'm a Lamb guy. I think Lamb will be fine. I'm a little nervous about Gallup because he just looks like he is galloping out there. Doesn't look himself just yet. I'm not really putting a lot of stock in James Washington coming back. I would if he didn't get hurt, sure, but the foot injury concerns me, so it could take him a while. Noah Brown is a fine wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3. Not moving the needle for me there. I'm torn on this one, man. I feel like, and I know, the Denzel Mims of the world, DJ Moore I will love, but maybe I need to come around to just Sky, stop trying to think about the Brandon Cooks, if somebody brought that up. The DJ Moores of the world, somebody had brought that up, and worry about maybe the Denzel Mims type. Maybe. But yeah, I am kind of interested in that. Not going to lie to you, just because I am a little bit disappointed in the wide receiver. And again, I put an asterisk next to that disappointment because Dak Prescott was out. So I'm not disappointed in Lamb. I'm not disappointed in Noah. I'm mad at Noah. You know what I'm saying? It's just from a totality. And maybe it's me being spoiled. We had such a fantastic wide receiver group from like 1 to 5 for the last 3 years. That is not the case now. So Claypool, somebody brought up Claypool. I kind of turned my nose to it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Somebody had brought that up a couple days ago and turned my nose to it. I can't turn my nose to that no more. Like, I do think maybe interject a little bit of life into this room. And maybe that'll be Dak. Maybe that will be Dak coming back, and that will inject some life into this thing, Cowboys Nation. So maybe I should just hold tight. Marcus said, blame Steven for the lack of wide receiver help. Landry's hurt too. Talking about Landry over in New Orleans. Yeah. Should have moved up for pick. Oh, don't get me started. Hey, Marcus, don't get me and Professor O started on Pickens, dog. Back and watch the draft show. I think me and Mo were on the draft show like, George Pickens is still on the board. Go get him. But it never happened. But anyway, let's get back to the Dak situation here, man. I sat down with Dr. Boothby on Monday, sat down with him last month, and we talked about his injury, the return timetable, and things like that. And this was just when the Cowboys elected not to put him on injured reserve. And I'm like, hey, Doc, does 3 to 4 weeks even sound right for this? And being the professional guy he was like, oh, no, well, AKA, hell no. No. And Jerry tried to sell that to you guys so he could sell them tickets and whatnot, not realizing that Coop would do enough to hold things down. But now it'll be about 6 weeks by the time the game gets here or something like that, or by next week, which I thought was the correct timetable, 5-6 weeks. So I asked Doc about that, and I said, my concern if they were to rush him back was about potentially re-injuring it, right? Because if he hits it or something like that and he's not fully healthy and we're trying to push him back in here, that makes me nervous. But I don't think we're doing that at this point, and Doc talked about that. So take a listen to a snippet of Doc talk. If you missed it, run the whole thing back if you want after the show. But here's Dr. Boothby of OSMI talking to me about Dak's return. So one of my concerns, of rushing him back if they happen to do that, which doesn't seem like that's what they're doing right now, Doc, was, that hand getting hit again. It wasn't all about just gripping the ball. That's obviously number one, right? You got to be able to grip the ball to throw it.
Sure.
But
sure.
I believe he has a screw in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So, I mean, what you're talking about obviously is re-injury. And
right.
This is why I think it was so valuable for him not to be on the 3 to 4 week timetable, where the risk of re-injury, because of the bones not fully healing back together yet, I'm much happier him on a 5-6 week timetable because the bone has had a chance to really heal. So, as much as we would love to put a cocoon around him and, a pillow of some sort that nothing bad is obviously ever going to happen to him again, football is a violent sport. And so there's a risk, obviously, of re-injury. But our job, when we put that hand back together, is to make sure that the risk is not higher than if it was on his other uninjured side. So at this point, with bony union, after, the surgery and letting that bone heal, statistically speaking, there shouldn't be a higher risk of a helmet injury or something, causing another fracture compared to his other uninjured side. That's kind of all we can do at that point, right? We can't put guarantees out there that nothing bad's ever going to happen to him because, again, it's a violent sport. But, I'm much happier with this sort of time frame because it allows that bony union that we're talking about, and I think really decreases the risk of re-injury.
That sounds like good news to me. All of Cowboys Nation should be excited to get Dak Prescott back here moving forward and getting him back healthy. That was always the main thing.
100%. Couldn't agree with that more.
Sounds like a lot of people in the chat had issues. Well, YouTube, because it looks like if you come back in. Did you guys get enough of that? Some people didn't have issues. Some people did have issues. Did you guys get enough of the doc talk there? Do I need to run that back for some of you? Not, YouTube been weird lately, man. Really weird. Do you want me to run that back? For those who did see it, do you have a problem if I run that back? Yeah, I don't want to repeat ourselves here, but it's the Russians. But I feel like some people missed out on this. Yeah, okay. Let me run this back for some that missed out. My apologies. Don't know what was going on with with the audio with YouTube. But I'm gonna run this doc talk back where he talks about it, man. So go ahead and listen. It's about 2 minutes. It's not too long. So one of my concerns, of rushing him back if they happen to do that, which doesn't seem like that's what they're doing right now, Doc, was, that hand getting hit again. It wasn't all about just gripping the ball. That's obviously number one, right? You got to be able to grip the ball to throw it. Sure. But sure. I believe he has a screw in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So, I mean, what you're talking about obviously is re-injury. And
right.
This is why I think it was so valuable for him not to be on the 3 to 4 week timetable, where the risk of re-injury because of the bones not fully healing back together yet. I'm much happier him on a 5-6 week timetable because the bone has had a chance to really heal. So, as much as we would love to put a cocoon around him and, a pillow of some sort that nothing bad is obviously ever going to happen to him again, football is a violent sport. And so there's a risk, obviously, of re-injury. But our job, when we put that hand back together, is to make sure that the risk is not higher than if it was on his other uninjured side. So at this point with bony union, after, the surgery and letting that bone heal, statistically speaking, there shouldn't be a higher risk of a helmet injury or something, causing another fracture compared to his other uninjured side. That's kind of all we can do at that point, right? We can't put guarantees out there that nothing bad's ever going to happen to him because, again, it's a violent sport. But, I'm much happier with this sort of time frame because it allows that bony union that we're talking about, and I think really decreases the risk of re-injury.
That sounds like good news to me. All of Cowboys Nation should be excited to get Dak Prescott back here moving forward and getting him back healthy. That was always the main thing.
100%. Couldn't agree with that more.
All right, we should be good now. So basically what he's saying is Dak good. He's good to go. It was always going to be a closer to the 6 week to 8 as opposed to that 4 week-ish situation. And again, my concern had been, well, if he comes back closer to 3-4 weeks, which was crazy, I feel like he's more susceptible to that hurting that thing again. And listening to Dak, knowing that he's medically cleared, and then obviously our doc saying, yeah, this was way more comfortable from a doctor's standpoint that I would have felt for him coming back. I think we all should feel good. Now, with that said, and Dak Prescott coming back, I don't want Kellen Moore or Dak to unload the clip this weekend. I don't need him to do it. And we're going to talk about this Detroit defense here in the second segment, and hold tight on the phones. I'm going to get to y'all after this segment right here. But I don't need them to unload the clip. Go listen to, once they drop it should be dropped today. Me and Jesse Holly, we did our Cowboys 4th and Long show podcast, about 30-minute episode. And we talked about the excitement with Dak and Kellen Moore and seeing the playbook and knowing like, ooh, we can do some cool things. I know you can, but you don't have to do all of that right now, right? Especially against, in my opinion, a team that you should be able to do what you've been doing. Neither here nor there. But what I would like to see them do a little bit more of is get Dak back on the move. Get him back on the move. It wasn't his leg that got hurt. It's his hand. And if we go back to week 1, I don't think there was enough design rollouts. I don't think there was enough play action. We ran play action, I think, 4 or 5 times. And obviously, as you guys know, Devin White brought out, hey, we knew what they were going to do, and you could see it on film. They didn't even respect the play action. But different story now, because the Cowboys are running the ball at a higher clip and in a more consistent high clip than they were clearly in week 1. There's only one game to go off of, but clearly in week 1. They're 9th in the NFL right now in rushing attempts over the last 3 games. I feel like if they continue that, you should feed off of that with some play action rollouts. And another thing that I think went missing a little bit during Rush's time in the offense was the off-script plays that we are accustomed to seeing Dak Prescott make, right? A lot of those can lead to big plays. Some of them can lead to just first downs or running or whatever. I'm not saying we need to see Dak scramble and run a bunch. Although when he was scrambling, he also made plays. But a lot of the times, probably over 90% of the time, Cooper Rush is not making off-script plays. He's trying to make every play on script, and sometimes that does what? It leaves you miss things because you're reading one half of the field or your first read. Again, I saw somebody on Twitter, again, keep saying he reads the field better. You ain't watching my show. Because if you do, you understand what they're doing with Cooper Rush when he's in the game. But the off-script plays were a big factor last year. The rollouts, the scrambles, it was a big factor. And it's been a big factor in Dak Prescott's career, period. And coming into the season, if y'all don't remember, we did a show where we had featured Mina Kimes talking about Dak Prescott being on the move and whatnot. And I thought she broke it down fantastically, and she even provided some statistics with it. So let's take a listen to Mina Kimes speaking on that, and we'll get into a little bit of why I think that's important coming back.
Mina, how much of a difference will Dak's mobility make this season, getting back to what we kind of know him as a quarterback at that position?
Well, it's huge, Laura. I mean, Dak is not a dual threat quarterback in the sense you're not going to lean heavily on the designed runs, but he is mobile, and at his best, the threat of him scrambling, throwing on the move is a big part of what's made this Cowboys offense so dangerous when he's healthy. And last season, when he did get hurt, I think it's a big part of the reason why that offense struggled after week 6. You know, before then, on designed rollouts and scrambles, Dak was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. After the injury, his numbers dropped precipitously. I mean, talking about going from a QBR of 93 to 46, not a massive sample size, but it's enough to make a big difference in this offense where you want him on the move. And that's why I think hearing, oh, he's healthy and he's going to be, at full strength coming back has to be tremendously encouraging for Dallas, because his health is I would say, the single biggest reason why they struggled last year.
Good stuff from Mina, as always. She's fantastic at what she does, man. One of my favorite people. I don't care if she's a woman, just people in the football world. She breaks things down fantastically, finds good stuff. But I don't think you can deny this. I just don't. And, week 1 is such an anomaly. When I say an anomaly, I mean it's one game compared to we have six games of film. And teams are going to play you differently. But if teams decide to go back to that shell situation, another way to break that down within the pass, within the play, is to get on the move. We just didn't see him do that last year when he got hurt. I mean, there it is, right there. He just really didn't have it like he had it in the first 6 weeks in regards to that. I'm not saying Dak got to get out here and run around. I don't want him to do that. But you can get him on designed rollouts. Hell, Cooper Rush did it against the Eagles in that second half on just basic play action rollouts and dump it off to the tight end. That's a designed rollout. That'll help get things going. When I say don't unload the clip, this is what I mean by something simple so you don't have to unload that clip. Simple design rollout. And what I noticed over the years with Dak is if it's not there, he can make something with his legs with that. We're not going to see that with Coop. It is what it is. It just is what it is. But off of that, it doesn't just have to be design rollouts. It can be play action. And now you allow him to scan the field with the linebackers stepping up. And if nothing's there, now he can get moving too. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, we don't want him to make the hero ball. That's true. We don't need Dak to try to throw 50 yards down the field off of a scramble. That's not where I'm getting at here. But oftentimes in scrambles, it's either A, you're scrambling for a first down, or B, you're scrambling and you're hitting somebody on an intermediate route or a scramble drill. We saw it work to perfection a number of times last year in those first 6 weeks, a number of times. And I just think he does it better, and he does it one of the best in the entire NFL. So that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing back in the Cowboys offense is Dak on the move. We didn't see a lot of that week 1. What you did see was a lot of dropping back, very quick, fast routes right in front of him into the sea of 7 or play action with 2 into 7. He's unsure. You got to get it out. Just wasn't comfortable. I don't want to see that. Get him to get him back comfortable, because once he gets comfortable, as we've seen, he can do everything you want from the quarterback position. Point blank, period. I saw somebody earlier in the chat say something like, can we, something along the lines, can we see him lead the receiver or something like that? Stop being an echo chamber for ESPN, or not even ESPN, because I hardly ever see them even say that. It's these fans. You're being an echo chamber for these fans that want to be blind to the fact that he can do those things. He has done those things. Let's not be an ignorant fan, right? And that's what we try to do here. And, the term ignorant means basically lack of knowledge or understanding, right? Like, we're showing you the film, the statistics, and all that stuff that he can do those things. Get him comfortable, and I think you'll be fine. All right, let's hit these phone lines presented by the Cochran Firm. Since 2005, my guys Larry Taylor, Brian Pope over at the Cochran Firm have been serving the DFW area and fighting for the DFW area community. Listen, if you got any civil cases involving personal injury, wrongful death, fraud, truck or automobile accidents, class action suits, whatever, hit Larry and Brian up down at the Cochran Firm. Or if you just have questions or concerns and you don't know what to do, hit Larry and Brian up down at the Cochran Firm. If you do become a part of their clientele, they handle their civil cases on a contingent fee basis, meaning if there's no financial recovery, they charge no fee. So contact 1-800-THE-FIRM or schedule your free consultation today at CochranTexas.com. All right, 325. You up first. What's goody? 325, you live. What up? All right, we out of here, 325. My good brother from Reading, how you doing, man?
Hey, good morning, and God bless you in this show and the family like always. I just want to ask you two questions. Do you think that they should use the 12-man package with Dak more? And do you think that James Washington is going to help us? And how do you think he can help us?
Yeah, definitely use the 12 personnel for sure. That's been one of our most successful packages with Dak Prescott. It was at the start of that season last year. Okay, you sit there. And then I think it was Blake Jarman went down and just wasn't quite the same. That compounded with Dak getting hurt. That compounded with Zeke getting hurt. Then that compounded with Tyron Smith getting hurt. And it just all went downhill. But the 12 personnel package with, I don't care if it's Dalton Schultz and Jake Ferguson or Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot. Keep wanting to say Peyton Hendershot. I think you'll have success out of it. So, yeah, I'm with you. And James Washington, I don't know, man. It's a big fat question mark for me. I was excited. I'll use the term excited. I was intrigued and thought that he could have a role here as that slot guy. But seeing how they're using Noah Brown now in the run blocking department, he's a little bit more versatile than James Washington. I don't think they're really – I don't know, man. I don't know what to expect from James, to be honest with you, since he's coming off that injury. So I'm not really expecting a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, because I think that now that they see Noah Brown doing good, I think they might make it a little difficult for James to get on the field, because you know how the way Dallas is, they seem to have their little favorites. I don't know. But anyway, God bless you in the show and the family like always, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, big dog. Somebody said, Gregory, you out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll be about favorites, my man. Because, I mean, if there's favorites, Noah will be the favorite, right? But I think Noah has earned it to play more, right? Noah's, he's doing the dirty work. He's not, honestly, if you go look at all the wide receivers, but he hasn't had the same production that he had the first few weeks, or those first two games with Cooper Rush. It's kind of been going down, but he's earned it doing the dirty work. He's earned it making some of those plays early on, helping keeping things afloat. So I think Noah's kind of going. I think he's going to keep his role in this offense. I don't think James is going to really knock him out of that, which is kind of why I'm looking to see if, hey, is there anybody else? But maybe that dude's already on the team. Maybe his name is Kevontae Turpin. They just don't use him right now as a receiver. I really almost called him Peyton Hendershot. Peyton Hendershot. It's an interesting name. We just gonna call him Hendo. That's what I like. Don't be hating. I like that. Don't be hating. James, my guy, James, the truck driver. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Sky? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm here, man. I'm here trying to make it happen. Hey, I got a couple of questions for you. So, with Dak coming back, that should make the receiving core better, you would think, because of his presence.
Mm-hmm.
Now he got to show and prove too.
Right.
But still, in any event, I want him to hand that ball off from the jump.
Sure.
Allow the running backs to make it easier for your wide receiver core.
Yeah.
We don't have a route runner. We don't have somebody that can, route a cornerback up. Not from what I've seen so far, that can route themselves open. So that running game, or either swings out to the running back, it will open up everything else. It'll open up the middle of the field for the 2 tight ends we got. And I ain't talking about Schultz. I don't want to see Schultz. It will open up everything. So I'm hoping, and this is a hope and a prayer, that Kellen Moore will continue to run the ball, and run the ball with more creativity instead of just the same, running up the A gap, or use them edges. Use them edges. He don't use the edges well. I mean, I just don't get it. Zeke, man, if Zeke would have had 20+ carries against Philly, I think we win that game. Because we would have ate some of the clock up, and some of them turnovers that Rush got, they wouldn't have never happened. But that's besides the point. One more question, and I'll take it off the air. Do you think that CD is a number 1 receiver? All right, bro, I appreciate you, and I'll be hollering back at you.
Yeah, man, James is funny. James said, I'm gonna drop this bomb on you, and I'm out of here. Yeah. I think we need to. Can we get a definition of that? Need a definition. Of course, he's a number 1 wide receiver, but has he shown to be in the last couple games or this season with Cooper Rush, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson? Nah. Of course, he's a number 1 wide receiver. But I think we need to define what the hell that even means. Right? What does that mean? Give me a definition behind that. Give me an example. Who do you want CD Lamb to be? And I'll say this. This has always been my thing about CD Lamb. He has the talent. He is talent. He is a number 1 talent of a wide receiver. Never been my question for CD Lamb for me. It's always been mental. Always been mental. We got West Palm and then B Bird, and we're gonna break down this Detroit defense if we even need to. What's up? 561.
Hey, Sky, how's my volume? It's Aaron.
Aaron is perfect, brother.
Hey, man, I don't think that the wide receiver core will be too bad. If you know how I am with mirrored routes. I hate seeing that crap.
We answered.
Anytime there's a mirrored route.
We answered that question on the podcast.
You answered I haven't watched it yet. We had a little emergency pop up yesterday. I'm gonna watch it later though. So I'm glad you did that. So, but anyway, there's 2 things I just want from Dak. Obviously, we all want him to not play scared and, not be scared of playing like getting injured type deal. But I don't want to see the double clutch Dak when he doesn't, it's not even a pump fake. He double clutches it and then he throws it to his receiver anyway. When I see that, I just know bad things are going to happen. Do you notice that too when he's not playing well?
I'm not sure of himself. Yeah, but I hate to use the term double clutch. I would say I don't want to see the not sure of himself Dak. Because if you look at a lot of his plays, again, we talked about it at the top of this show, off-script plays matter. Moving around and making plays that aren't there right away matter. And we didn't see that with Cooper Rush until we did, right? The few times we did see it with Cooper Rush, one of them was a touchdown. in the red zone. So I don't want him to completely take away his ability to say, okay, I don't like this. Yes, I clutched it there because I don't like this here, but I'm going to go ahead and come back to the other side, or I'm going to scramble around and try to make a play. I don't want him to lose that. What I don't want him to do is double clutch it on the read and stay on the read, and now he's throwing it behind the receiver because he should have just threw it first. That's what I don't want to see. So it's kind of a catch-22.
Right. The difference is not a pump fake to one receiver to move a safety or something. He just double clutches it and throws it, like you just said, to the same
person. Right. Like if you're going to pump it.
All that did was bring the coverage closer.
Well, if you're going to pump it and you don't like what you see, I'm cool with you bringing it down, not even pumping it to get off of safety, just bringing it down. I don't like that. I'm going to come back to the other side. I don't mind that. But what I do mind is what he did against I think it was against the Bucs week 1 on that play. I said, trust it, see it, rip it. He double clutched it and he threw it. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and my second thing, Sky, I'm gonna get off here. I noticed it week 1, and then you put it in your film breakdown, which was amazing the other day. They got to attack the middle of the field. Like they have to send routes, at least one route in there. Like if there's no route going to the middle of the field, they're just dead in the water. I hate when they do that. You think they'll change now that Dak's back, or will it look like week 1 again where they just send stuff?
Well, they sent stuff to the middle of the field, except for that one, that third down we talked about with the mirror routes. But if you send the stuff to the middle of the field and see a 7, that it still becomes hard. I think we get back to it. Dak hits that seam route. He likes to tight end down the seam. He likes to send
he loves it.
CeeDee Lamb down the seam. I think listen, our passing game is going to open up everywhere with this man back. I don't understand the people that think that having him back from a passing game standpoint doesn't open up your playbook exponentially. I don't get it.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Be good.
Thank you, good brother. Let's get B Bird in the building. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Scott? Can you hear me good? I got these earbuds in.
Yep, I got you.
Okay. So, number one wide receiver, I don't think an organization or an offense can tell you what a number one wide receiver is. I think it's the way the opposing team defenses play their player. When they start doubling, putting their best corner on them, rolling safety over top, they'll tell you what a number one wide receiver is. It's a coverage. That's just my opinion. So
that's
you
part
can
of
go
it,
out there
sure.
and say he's my number one. He's my number one. But if the defense ain't played him like a number one, you can say it all day long.
If that's the definition of it, then CeeDee Lamb is. I mean, we put on the tape plenty of times, and we've seen, hey man, there's a bubble around CeeDee Lamb. They're bracketing him. They got a safety over top, et cetera, et cetera. If that's the case, right? Yeah. But I got a feeling people are looking at it from a production standpoint, right? Like is he having the same production as some of these top end number ones? No. If you're looking at it from a production standpoint, I can't argue with you that he's not a number one. But from a talent standpoint and from what defenses are doing to him this year, sure, they're respecting him in that manner. But I don't think, B-Bird, if you allow me, we heard our offense coordinator say, basically, we don't give a damn about a number one wide receiver. Yeah. Maybe he's not a number one here in Dallas.
But we can't have the quarterbacking we have now and judge him. We have to judge him with Tony Romo. With Dak Prescott's back, because you've shown how inadequate the offense has been. Let me ask you a question. This is a question I was going to ask you the other day when I think I was on when we had technical difficulties. So in the off season, man, we had a lot of moves, but at the end of the day, I think pretty much all of them kind of panned out to our favor as far as Gregory and Lyle Collins, and I think we've done well without those guys. I think the one that we kind of was scratching our heads over was Amari Cooper.
Yes.
So the thing about our offense is, I thought about this the other day, is that our offense really is not much different than it was last year. The only thing that's different is Amari Cooper. And I look back and say, okay, what hindered us? It's not like we got someone with that money. We did anything with that. I think all we did was subtract Amari Cooper off this roster. And I don't think that we did anything to add to that. No. But I'm trying to say this. We talk about building and going all in. Boy, just think if we had Amari Cooper on this team as our number one, CeeDee as our number two, and our number three being Gallup, and our tight ends being who they are, running backs being who they are, and our offensive line being what it is right now. With the defense the way it is right now and how it's going to get better, Now I think that's an all-in move. That's why I didn't like the Amari Cooper letting him go, because I'm saying we're not trying to win. This is our time, man. Because I was just thinking, like, there's nothing precluding us from having him. Not salary wasn't precluding it or anything. Am I right on that? And that's all I want to ask, man. I'm going to get off the line and listen to you, bro.
Thanks, B-Bird. Appreciate you as always, man. I don't disagree, man. And I hate to go back, but, you know, that was the only one, me personally. I know the nation in general were mad about every single move, but to me, I was like, Terrence Steele's going to be fine at right tackle. Would have been nice to have Randy, but I like the fact that, all right, you still got D-Law, you still got Mike as your top 2 rushers, and then Dorrance was coming along as a rotational guy. I'm still in that, having a fantastic year, by the way, but Dorrance Armstrong and Dante Fowler to part of that rotation, sure. And you got a chance to go into the draft and get somebody, yeah, man, I can live with that. But it was Amari. I was like, hey, you know, Gallup ain't going to be Gallup for a while. I don't worry about CD, the talent. I worry about CD handling what Amari is going to have to deal with, or dealt with, I should say. And do we have somebody else to take the pressure off of him? And we just don't. So, yeah, man, that's the one. You know, I still think we'll be, like you thought as well, B-Bird. We'll still be fine. I think we'll win double-digit games this season. I think you should make the playoffs this year. But that's the one I would like to have back. Sure. I do like the definition, though. But, and then my guy Mel said this. He said, I think people are asking, is he an elite wide receiver? I don't know how you can say yes right now. There's that E word again. Then somebody else said, put his ass on the Packers and see if he's a number 1 wide receiver. You know what? I like that too. Like, I do think it is dependent on your situation. It's dependent on your situation, because we aren't an offense that was treating our guys like that. Now, if you technically go look at targets, it looks like we're starting to do that with CD. Now, Rush was the one with CD for the last 5 games. So like B-Bird said, it's hard to determine without Dak Prescott being there for the last 5 weeks. What happens now with Dak back? Not playing against Tampa, who switched it up on you and it was a bad game, et cetera, et cetera. What happens? Do those 10, 11 targets turn into 7, 8 receptions, 90 yards, a touchdown, as opposed to week 1, it was like 2 receptions, something like that? Fascinating discussion. All right. Let's go into this Detroit breakdown. And I'm going to just be completely honest with y'all. I'm not just here. just here. I'm calling it the 30 for 30 defense. It's bad, man. Like, it is really, really bad. For those who can't see, I'll read them out loud for you here. 32nd in points allowed. 32nd in yards allowed. 32nd in first downs allowed. 26th in passing yards allowed. 31st in net passing yards per attempt. 32nd in rush yards allowed. 32nd in rush touchdowns. And 30th in yards per carry. To be frank,
I ain't scared of you, mother.
It's just bad, man. Like, this is a bad defense. And Dan Campbell addressed it a couple weeks ago after the Seattle loss. He had this to say. We've been going through that and had the team meeting, so I'm not totally through with all of that, but I know we're going to need to move some personnel around. That'll be one part of it, and then certainly look at calming things down and simplifying schematically. Those will be 2 of the biggest changes that I think we're going to need. I said those will be the two of the biggest changes I think we're going to need to make. I didn't even want to spend a whole bunch of time watching a bunch of games, but I said, well, at least let me go back and see this game against the Patriots, because they had a guy by the name of Zappy Hour, who played against them, who's a rookie. So I said, let's see what the Rook does. Let's see what their running game does. And they put up 29 on him, but a touchdown on defense, so 23. They could have easily hung 30 or more on him, but Zappy's an inexperienced quarterback who missed some things. But even against a Patriots offense who I don't even think is that good, they didn't do anything spectacular on the ground in regards to schematics. They don't have the quarterback like Dak. They don't even have the weapons. They ran all over Detroit. The Stevenson kid, not some amazing running back. Nope. But they ran all over him. I noticed in that game, bunch formations was pretty much money against this team. They'd struggle against tight ends. They haven't held a tight end to less than 50 yards receiving yet. A tight end group, I should say. Less than 50 yards receiving yet. They've given up 314 yards and 2 touchdowns, 12.5 yards per catch with the tight end. So this could be an ASAP Ferg. Shout out to my guy Tuck in the building. ASAP Ferg could have another one here, man. This could be one of those weeks where you say, all right, Schultz, I know, I understand. You might be getting healthy, but we don't really need you. So Ferguson, Hendershot, play action rollout could be a thing. Listen, they don't have a bunch of studs over there. I like Malcolm Rodriguez. They got Jeff Okudah. But even Rodriguez, who I would love to see on this team, to be honest with you, he can get a little bit too excited sometimes and jump the wrong lane. And one of the things that Dan Campbell, I almost said Quinn, Campbell talked about was guys not doing their job and having other guys overcompensate for it, leaving opportunities for the opposing offense. That happened far, 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 far too often for this defense. So I just truly believe, y'all, that if Dallas just continues down the path of what they've been doing, creative running, start to mirror the pass game with the running game, that alone should be enough to be effective against this Lions defense, which is a poor defense. Like, make no mistake about it, they do nothing well. Sometimes I try to go look and be like, what do they do? What is one thing? They do nothing well. Not one thing. So don't let today be the day or Sunday be the day they wake up. But here's what I think could take this game over the top. Not, they could continue to go do the same things they've been doing, but I think Dak's ability to see things better and make plays off of that first read is going to send this offensive game over the top against Detroit. If you watch them against Geno Smith had a lot of plays he made with his legs. Even Zappy was moving around on him. I feel like if Coop would have been fine, but I feel like the second hand plays, those off script plays, he doesn't like to scramble much. So it still would have been one read, one half of the side, one field, half of the field read, even on a scramble, right? Even on a scramble, he's not scrambling back. It's just running to the side and trying to get rid of it. I feel like Dak, even when you step up or even if you have to scramble, he'll make a play because it's not a good defense. So, and if they decide to run a shell coverage, Cowboys Nation, because Dak's back and that seems to be the blueprint for everybody, but not everybody got the boys to do it. This team don't have the boys to do it. If you want to run shell, Dallas would just run for 200 yards. Seriously, if you want to you want to put 6 guys at the line of scrimmage. Okay. We can run block. We can do some good run things. And I think we're starting to see a little bit more creativity in the run game. I don't want to see them go away from that. That stuff we watched against the Eagles, do that. Do that. So, man, there's just not a lot to talk up about this defense as opposed to the Lions offense that they do a lot of good things. This Lions defense does nothing well. And I would be disappointed if the Cowboys don't eclipse 24 points. What's their season high? 24, 25 points? That should be the minimum. You could run the ball 50 times and score 25 points. That's how I look at it. But let me say this, to be fair and to be objective. One of the things that I want to see improve and don't throw tomatoes at me, Cowboys Nation. I'm just being objective. I want to see Tyler Smith be a bit better on that blind side moving forward. I'm not saying Aiden Hutchinson is Reddick or Sweat or Barrett or Donald or whoever. I'm not saying that. But over the last 3 weeks, it's getting a bit leaky. Starting to leak just a little bit over there. The first 3 weeks, he gave up a combined 4 pressures against some ballers, man. Against some ballers. The last 3 weeks, he's allowed 7. He's allowed 7 pressures, man. From a pressure standpoint, it wasn't the greatest game for him last week. Now, that's a different front. I totally understand. But maybe we get a bounce-back game. I would like to see a bounce-back game from Tyler Smith over there. For as happy as we are with Tyler Smith's development at left tackle, if I'm being real, it's still, at the end of the day, solid. And that's really good based off the expectations. That's really good based off the expectations. But it ain't been clean. That's the difference. Solid and clean. And it's coming from the blind side. I don't want to see a repeat of what happened in week 1. Not talking about the injury, but just, kind of the hesitancy. I don't want to see the repeat of what happened at the end of that game against the Eagles. And even in between, there were some things. I don't want to see, obviously, what happened against the Rams and whatnot. That's Aaron Donald, though, so maybe put a asterisk next to that. But a little bit of leakage is happening over there. I'm just being real. He has not been great, Lemaitre, over the last 3 games. But I get the fandom. We kind of ignore the things he needs to improve on, focus on what he has been doing. One thing he has been doing at a great level has been run blocking. Pass blocking has not been great. I'm just being real, y'all. Throw the tomatoes at me if you want. Put your Homer glasses on if you want. That's fine. We're Cowboy fans. You allow. But I'm being real. I would like to see him improve a little bit from over the last 3 weeks. Let's get the Nacho. What's up, man?
Oh, man. Good morning. Good morning. I have a question. So what do you think? Do you think we're going to be buyers between now and the trading deadline? In that I'm excited of where this team can be and where we could be heading. Obviously, I'm being the optimistic fan here, but in terms of the trading deadline, I've been hearing, a lot of rumors about. I guess this Mims receiver from the Jets was a player we were interested at one point.
Yeah.
It seems like the Jets are not really playing him much, and he could be a guy that could be had for, hardly anything. But in terms of what's your take? Do you hear anything in terms of between now and November 1st? Do you see us making any kind of moves to really upgrade this football team and make a run?
Sure.
What do you think?
Sure. I am always with the thought process of improving your team 365. Always. So, I'm always open to being a buyer. In the NFL, being a seller is weird because you got to basically admit at week 8 you are out of it because it's only 17 weeks. But if you're a good team, I'm always looking to be a buyer, but it has to make sense though, Nacho. Like there's not many players you're just giving up a first round pick for that teams are willing to trade away. But if it makes sense and you can get a player that can help you put you over the hump, yep, all for it.
Absolutely, right. And what do you think of this as well? And this is just me playing kind of brainstorming here. I'd like to think that if we can go get, if the opportunity presents itself, and we can go get a run-stuffing defensive tackle and or another opposite shutdown corner of Diggs, any of those 2 positions that can become available, like let's say Carolina Panthers, for example, a team like that.
What was the first one before the shutdown corner?
A D tackle, a run stuffing, big body D tackle, just to go ahead and I'd like to think that is one of our areas of weakness that we could upgrade on and really make a difference? What do you think?
I think Quentin Bohanna has been playing fine. But if you want to go get a defensive tackle, I'm not trading a bunch of assets for a run stopping defensive tackle. I'm gonna go get me a stud. I'm gonna go get me a guy that can do both. But if you want to go trade a 6th, 7th, 8th round pick for another run stopping defensive tackle, what's a 7th round pick? What's a 6th round pick? Whatever. But if I'm trading for a defensive tackle, go get me a stud. But I'm kind of okay. I'm fine with their defensive tackles. But if you're gonna go get somebody, go get me somebody that puts you over the hump from that position. But you said a shutdown corner. Listen to what you just said, Nacho. Who the hell is trading a shutdown corner right now?
You know my thought on that, Sky?
Yeah.
Is that I've always thought opposite of Diggs. At one point, you remember we were on the draft and there was a lot of news about maybe a Surtain or something opposite of Diggs at one point, all that stuff. I just feel that opposite of Diggs, we still, even with our players, we're still just, if we can just tweak it just a little bit to really have that defense. I mean, I'm excited about.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm trying to add some realism to what you're saying. Who is trading a shutdown corner?
Well, I'm
not trying to put you on the spot, but people always say go get XYZ. Sure. But who are you talking about that the Cowboys can go out a shutdown corner at that? By the way, you can realistically go out and get that a team is like, yeah, we're going to give up a shutdown corner in a passing league. You know what I mean? Like that's hard to do, and I know I'm putting a wet blanket on people's dreams, but I'm also trying to be realistic here.
Yeah. I'm just looking at, those teams that, at the trading deadline that they're probably seeing the future and going, hey, you know what? We're going to trade bait. We're going to do this. We're going to get draft picks. We're going to trade draft picks.
I'm legitimately asking you. Maybe Cowboys Nation can help me out. Who? What team? Because then I can maybe entertain it a bit. What team has a shutdown corner that or bad team or whatever that they're willing to trade right now? Who? Who?
I know.
Yeah.
It's tough. But hey, in a dream scenario, man, I'm just thinking of something. You know what I mean? If we could make a move, I hear receiver / D tackle. I don't know. I'm jumping at the bit to just know. I mean, I'd be so excited if we do become buyers and do get that player that can really upgrade, whether it's our offense or defense. Then that tells me that this team is, and I know we're in. It's just that I'm hoping. I guess I'm hoping at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How excited? I'll leave you with this, Guy. Excited are you about having Dak back, and obviously with the possibility of him, not playing for about 5 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe a little rusty, but I'm just excited about just getting Dak. I think that's just what we need, this Dallas Cowboys team, as we head into the bye week.
Man, I'm pumped, Nacho, but appreciate the call, good brother.
All right, my man. All right, you have a good one. Thank you.
Indeed. How excited am I? Come on, man. Woo. I might leave. Let me tell y'all something right now. Let's just pretend they do play this, and they're not, but they do play this on Sunday. I think my guy is going to be there, Tuck. I will literally leave Texas Live, run through security with my here I go. Boy, man, I'm hyped, man. Talking about we 4-2 without Dak Prescott. We about to get Dak Prescott back, and you be respectful. You know, I don't see the people who were all on this whole like Cooper Rush. Thank you. But who were doing all that and was yappy. They were just all in the chats. They were everywhere in the chats. They're kind of gone now, which is weird to me, bro. Because we appreciate what Coop did. Why are you running? Don't run. You know what's gonna happen? Soon as the Cowboys lose, soon as Dak has a bad game, they're gonna be right back in here, running their mouth. Shut up. Before I go get Steve to put his hands on you. That's what they're gonna be doing. Don't be that dude. Don't be that dude, man. We here. When 4 mess up, we can't go nowhere. We here, man. It is what it is. Said the Eagles broke their spirit. It's corny. That's cornball stuff. That's cornball stuff to me, man. And that goes to tell me they're the same people that be like, you ain't a Cowboy fan. You a Dak Prescott fan. Man, shut up. We 4-2 with Coop, bro. We was happy. You seem to be upset and sad now that the time is over. His watch has ended. Y'all weird. Reek, what up?
Oh, what's going on, Sky? What's going on, Cowboys? Like, share, subscribe, and everything else, you know. With this team, to me, I do believe that we probably need another receiver on this team somewhere, somebody more experienced.
Yeah.
That can get open on their own and has a little bit of the route tree. So a little bit of what Cooper was doing last year. Just somebody that can get open that's got some toughness that can bring a little bit of attitude to this receiving score. You know what I mean? To get these other guys, pumped up to do something. You know what I mean? Probably snatching the ball out of the air and commanding. You know what I mean? Like just snatching it. You know what I mean? Like if the ball in the air, it's mine. I just think we need something else, a receiver that Dak likes. I don't know what Washington's gonna be. You know what I mean? When he comes back, you know he might be that dude that we missing for as far as route tree, because he has a little bit of something. I remember him in Pittsburgh. But for back, I'm happy. But you already know my Achilles heel on this defense. And if they look at something, I think they should look at that between both linebackers, because you and Voch, y'all hit it though.
Yeah.
You know, you and Voch, y'all hit it on the head. You know what I mean? It's the linebacking core, man.
It is.
Everybody else hustling. Only other person that besides the linebacker core that I could see getting up off the field is Jordan Lewis, because I did not respect what he did in that last game as far as
Jay. And remember Jay Lou got benched last year. Oddly enough, he got benched. So maybe that might happen again, man. Maybe we get a chance to see DeRon Bland.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see DeRon Bland. I think we're gonna see somebody out there, because I know Quinn. I know Quinn probably pissed a little bit, because it's like, yeah, we went against the Eagles. They punched us in the mouth. We responded a little bit, but it was too late when we responded. We was already tired. So
they held the ball. They held the ball in the first half for like 20 minutes, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm happy that Ford is back, because I know that he was sitting on the sideline watching it like, I can't do this to this defense. This is the best defense I ever had since I've been here. So I got to help them out. You know what I mean? The only thing I got to put up is 21, 22 points or 24 points, and they going to hold it down. Oh, I'm about to go get that for them. That's the attitude I want Dak to have when he comes back. I want him to put points on the board, and him and the offense can sit on down and be happy, but be ready to get back on the field real fast, because he know the defense is gonna go hunting.
Mm-hmm.
You know Parsons is gonna go hunting on cats. So that's why I'm happy with it. I'm cool, man. Let's go Cowboys, man. I holla at y'all.
My God, appreciate you. Rick, man, he couldn't help himself. He said, first of all, LVE and the click he claimed. Whoa, we was talking about Dak. But he's right, though. Me and Voch and Tuck called in the other day. We were talking about the linebackers. And Tuck just said, maybe this is the week you test out the Bucks. And get that lead. Yeah, get that lead and see what's up. Get that lead and see what's up. 970, what's up? Speaking of what's up.
Hey, I would say, how about them Cowboys? But I'm kind of disappointed on them the way they went into Philadelphia.
What's up, Sonny?
I blame the coaches for not having us ready for that game. I think we would have won that. We should have put up. They jumped on us in the beginning of that game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, we were just out coached that. I've seen the frustration from the players. I wish we was playing somebody else besides the Lions this week, because if we're more like it, I'm not saying that any team can beat you any day of the week, but I wish we was playing another good team right afterwards, But what's your thoughts on? Do you think we just unprepared going into that game? We took them a little lightly, or?
No, I just think your quarterback played poorly.
Our quarterback's been doing the same as it has been.
Nah, your quarterback wasn't turning the ball over 3 times.
Well, no, but our defense, look what they did to Michael Parsons.
Brother,
they made him look like a fool out there running that RPO.
You can't win a football. I mean, I say you can't. It's really hard to win a football game when your quarterback throws 3 interceptions and then you also turn the ball over on downs on your 35. That was a boneheaded decision. You should have just punted it or challenged it. So,
I agree there.
That's part of it. Your defense, in my opinion, man, I thought your defense did as best as they could do given the situation. They'll definitely go back and they'll look at the tape and they'll try to have a response to this RPO. Maybe they'll send something to the goddamn on NFL like, hey, man, you can't be having these offensive linemen downfield.
You watch Law on them, don't you? Law, he did that round table with them guys with coach and all them. They went over that RPO thing, and they were talking about in that situation, Michael Parsons just flat out ran right towards the quarterback instead of trying to cover that guy out of the backfield. You know what he did? Just smacked the hell out of him.
Yeah, maybe that's the adjustment that they'll make moving forward, Sonny. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I would like to set in the meetings on that one the day afterward or on the plane ride home. It was probably pretty quiet.
Yeah,
I heard our coach was pretty pissed.
Yep. We talked about it the other day, Sonny. Dan Quinn is pissed. And I think he will come up with an answer to it that'll help. But I also think your offense will help with that as well because I think we'll score some points on them.
Well, yeah, we were running the ball pretty good against them.
Mm-hmm.
That's one weakness that seems like it's in. Hey, I gotta give credit. Philadelphia's they look pretty good though. I mean,
that's a good team, man. Yeah. Philly is a good team.
I mean, hey, they got a chance of going undefeated because they're going to be favored in every game they play out the rest of this year. Unless Green Bay turns it around, but I don't see anybody else on the schedule besides us and Green Bay it can beat them.
Are you talking about Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah, Philly will have its day. They'll have a day. They'll have a day, man. Have a day when they'll run into something or they're not having a good day. I don't see them going 16-1.
But I'm kind of glad to see the East is back. The Giants, the Cowboys, Philadelphia. We can just get the Washington Commanders back in shape. Get the East. It's good to see the East back in control again. Looking pretty good so far.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it is. But hey, you can't count Brady out, and you sure in hell can't count some of these other good teams out right now.
Yeah, you're right, Sonny, man. But appreciate.
You really can't.
Appreciate the call, Sonny.
It's kind of a weird year, isn't it?
It's a very weird year, man. It's a lot of parity in the league.
Yeah. I mean, look what happened to the 49ers.
We don't really got to look too hard at what happened to them. They're 3-3. They fighting, man. They doing what they can do, Sonny. But I got to get to some
Oh, yeah.
I got to get to some other.
Hey, have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Sonny. Appreciate you, Big Duck.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them, baby?
Yep.
Did we get through it? Yep, we did. All right. The plane was like, you know, I like that fans are like, I'm so glad the NFC East is back. But honestly, I don't care. The Giants, the Eagles, the Redskins. I know they ain't the Redskins no more, but the Washington football people. I'd be cool if we swept them every year, and they sucked all the time. I guess they back, though. I guess we the NFC Bs. I never really cared about the least thing, though, to be honest with you. And all right, cool. Nobody was calling it the AFC least for 25 years that Tom Brady was running things. I would have loved our division to be as terrible as the AFC East was for 20 consecutive years. That division was terrible. And they get a whole bunch of home field advantages and whatnot. Give me 5-6 wins, 4-5-6 wins guaranteed every year. Yeah. I forget what Sonny was talking about, though. What are you talking about? Michael Parsons and the RPO. Yeah, we got to have an answer to the RPO, you know? We got to have an answer to it. Craig on Facebook, y'all can't see this on Instagram. I'm sorry, on YouTube. He said, can I address something about an Armstrong trade? Like, what does that mean, Craig? Like, who's talking about trading Dorrance Armstrong? Sonny, they want you to do the Macho Man Randy Savage dip. Oh, y'all crazy, man. I thought I already. It was James, a truck driver. Now I'm getting James from Cali. What's good, James from Cali?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing,
Hey, to that other caller, I think he needs to realize, kind of like you said, on any given Sunday, case in point, when Tampa Bay got beat by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
So it can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen. But real quick, I just want your thoughts really quick on, since this is Dak's first game back, do you think we open up the playbook, or do you think we keep it simple like we have when Cooper Rush was a quarterback?
I think it might open up slightly. You know, some of those things. Remember we saw that play with Kevontae Turpin in week 1. Fake pitch, Dak got like 10 yards or something like that. Maybe they bring some of that back. Maybe we'll see a little bit more 21 personnel with Dak, Zeke, and TP. So I think it opens up slightly, but I don't want to see them. Like I said, they don't need to unload the clip. There's just no reason to do that this week. Kind of just ease him back in this thing.
And run the ball as much as we can too, so that way we don't have to have Dak throwing the ball 40 times either.
Yeah.
But I'll just say this much. You know, sometimes what happens is you know, you get punched right in the mouth, and then you kind of like wake up, and then you know you start doing your thing again. So on one hand, I will say, like you know, Philly is a good team, but they are beatable and they can be beat. You know, and I think we will do that. Was it Christmas Eve we play them again?
Christmas Eve. Yep.
Yep, we'll beat them next time. Now that we know what's going on. And one last point, I think we need to. I think you said this the other day, but you were on a little early. I think it was yesterday, and I missed the chance to get on. But I think we need to start having Micah Parsons back as a linebacker and even blitzing from that spot. Because don't get me wrong, he's a good DN, but I don't think that fits him. I think he needs to go back to linebacker. What do you think about that? And then I'm out.
Appreciate you. I think it would. Thanks for calling in, James. I think it fits him if he wants to be a full-time edge rusher, but that's not what we're doing with him in Dallas, right? He's kind of doing multiple duties. So in that case, then do more linebacker things, and like you said, blitz him from the middle. I never wanted him to be majority pass rusher unless you improve from the linebacker position, and I don't think we did that just yet. So yeah, I want to play him a little bit more there. So apparently, Fish and Tyson are suggesting to trade Dorrance Armstrong. Why? And for who? I mean, who am I getting? That Y'all know me. I'll open my ears. I'll listen. Hey, what we talking about here? What's the compensation? Who are we getting in return? Because that always matters. Dorrance is having a fantastic year, both on special teams and on defense. Seems to be one of your better players this year. I don't see the reason to trade him right now. So respectfully, I think I wouldn't do it, respectfully. But who's the player? Craig said possibly Roquan. So what do the Bears need? Would you trade Roquan if you're the Bears for Dorrance? I wouldn't. I think Roquan Smith's a better player. But I like the name. Let's see. Anybody else? Or should I just stop entertaining this? It ain't about what he want, Craig. See, and maybe I'm too real sometimes. And I try to bring reality to fans. You know, like my guy Nacho was like, go get a shutdown corner. What team is trading away a shutdown corner? Also, the Colts linebacker, who? I know you ain't talking about Shaq. I know you are not talking about Shaquille Leonard. All right, I'm going to just stop. 630, what's up?
Hey, Scott, how we doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing good. Thing I want to bring up is how much is the running game going to open now that Dak's back? Now that we don't have,
Darius Leonard, my bad. Go ahead.
Because with, the thing was, we'll block the run game, let Cooper Rush beat us. Now you can't do that because you got Dak behind center. You have Dak behind center. So is that going to open up the run game more?
Theoretically, right? Like if you decide to do what Tampa did, because let's be honest, what Tampa did was the same blueprint as last year. We're just going to drop 7, rush 4, and we were actually running the ball well on the edges specifically. We just didn't continue to do it. So if you want to do that, man, this team has found a groove running the rock. I think we'll just revert back to running all over you.
Right, and I hope they keep the formula getting Dak back. Keep the passing and run ratio how it is, and I think our offense will roll. And then with defense, with all these talks of trades, I think our defense is stout right now. I mean, maybe a linebacker, but why mess the continuity of the locker room up? Our defense is rolling. Let them roll to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, linebacker is the one, but see, me, I'm like, well, what's up with Devin Harper? What's up with Jabril Cox? If those guys aren't ready, then you say, okay, is there something out there reasonably that the Cowboys can acquire that, because remember, if it's a guy like the cat from the Bears, he's going to want to get paid. So when you acquire that guy, do you think Stephen Jones is then going to pay him, top tier money? Hard to believe, but if he snaps out, maybe. So now you're giving up money, you're giving up assets. I'm just thinking realistically. I don't really see that happening. So it's like, okay, what about the secondary market? Is there somebody you can get for like a 4th, 5th round pick? And then you put your cowboy hat on. All right, this guy better be worth it because they love their 4th and 5th round picks. So I don't know who's available that you can net for a 4th or 5th round pick. But Dallas historically has not made in-season trades to do this. So I'm looking in-house.
Right. And like I said, I'm happy with our defense. I think our defense has enough to carry us as far as we need to go. And now that we have Dak back, their job's going to get a little bit easier. And they can hopefully we'll get some leads where we can pin our ears back and just have Micah run wild and have a good time. But I'll let you go, Sky. I'll enjoy listening to you. Yeah, everyone else, like and subscribe.
Appreciate you, man. Baby girl back there like.
It's my turn. You told me it was my turn.
Baby girl said, all right, daddy, get off the damn phone with Sky. Appreciate you, man. It's my turn. Yeah, he changed his name to Shaq. I thought so. You know who I'd like? What's the dude? I think his name is Shaq, actually. Shaq Thompson. in Carolina. If we talking about trying to get a guy, what would Shaq Thompson want? I don't know. But I think we still. I know a lot of people are down on the defense after the last game, and I was trying my hardest not to get on the Twitter universe and put on a cape for the Cowboys rush defense. But I don't know, man. It's just I'm not overly concerned about it because I don't think teams are going to make you play 11 on 11 ball in the run game like the Eagles did. And outside of week 1, and week 1 was not great. Teams really didn't do that great. I know. Well, the Washington football people had 100 yards. They did. They popped off on the Cowboys in that first half. Cowboys corrected what I thought were massive alignment issues and whatnot, and they were phenomenal from there on in the run game. Maybe that stuff sneaks back up to this week. Maybe this week is the week I think people will start to say, all right, well, the defense can say, let's go out there and make a statement in the ground because this team is going to run on you. This team is going to run the ball, and they're going to run the ball in a creative way in the sense of, a lot of variety in their run scheme. So if they come out here and they hold the Lions to a respectable day on the ground from a defensive standpoint, maybe that'll make things at ease. But I'm just not too concerned up front. To me, it's the linebackers. That's it. And I think you can upgrade by just putting Michael Parsons back in the middle of the field and playing off of that. And blitzing him from the middle of the field. I didn't like to see him on the edge so much last week. I really didn't. That's just me, though. All right, let's lock these up. Perfect time in the day. Let's get to 561 and then Los to end this thing. What's up, 561?
Yo, what's happening, Skywalker, man? Jake the Great.
Jake the freaking Great. What's good, bro?
Man, I'm waking up this morning, man, and I'm super concerned, man. I mean, I'm so concerned. I'm almost heartbroken. Man,
about which part of the team? Let's see if we can talk you off the ledge.
Man, it's Kellen Moore, man.
I don't know if I could talk you off that ledge.
Yeah, because I'm watching the team, and we have such a great formula. We have a championship caliber defense, but not one championship caliber defense makes it to the Super Bowl without a strong running game. And I just don't believe Kellen Moore believes in the running game, and he won't stick to the running game. And he's just going to leave our defense out to dry. And we can't continue to lose the time of possession because it's all Kellen Moore. I just can't, it's like, damn. Just play Madden. If you're averaging 5 yards a run, why even throw it? Like, why even throw it? You can literally beat these teams up and just pound them. By the second half, you can unleash Dak, but he just won't do it. And I'm gonna back up a little bit from the hype until I see, and especially now with Dak coming back, I just feel like Kellen Moore is gonna open it up. And we paid you $40 million. It's a passing league. We don't care. Throw, and they're gonna abandon the bread and butter. What's been helping us win games. That's why I'm so concerned.
Well, I mean, we've been running it, but I think the concern more is you don't trust Kellen to keep doing it, right? Like that's
I
don't. Do you trust Mike though? You trust Mike to keep the pressure on Kellen? Because I think the reason why we are running as much as we are and have changed our philosophy is Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. See, but I don't trust Mike too much because I feel like he's pump faking us a little bit. Like he'll go and check Kellen Moore, but he ain't really checking Kellen Moore. And if he is, I watched that video that Law put out there, right? And they had Dak Prescott practicing. How do you disrespect Dak Prescott like that when he's clearly ready to go? Even a 80% Dak out there, you put him out there and you let him play. For it to be.
Are you talking about for the Philly game?
Yeah, because here's the thing.
Well, Jake, he has to be medically cleared. the independent doctors did not clear him to play.
Yeah, they can say that, but I'm on the conspiracy thing. I believe they don't really Dak.
Brother, the doctor said he.
I love that.
You want him to go out there not medically cleared?
Well, yeah, okay.
Because hey, Jake the Great, you the same dude that got on me and said, well, you want Micah Parsons out there on a flat tire? You want Dak Prescott out there not medically cleared?
That was the other dude. No,
that wasn't
Parsons.
you.
All right.
Okay.
I was complaining about J. Lou getting caught up in the wash.
I think that was Bro G. That was Bro G. That was my guy, Bro G. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good though, man. But that's the only thing I'm concerned about, man. I'm watching a good thing just crumble, man, because Kellen Moore doesn't know how to run it. Like the Eagles used the 2016 Cowboys game plan, and they ran it. Kellen Moore would never done that. He would have ran it like, we're getting 10 yards to carry. Oh, let's go to spread formation and 10, 5 wide receivers, no running back. That's what he does, and that's what my concern is.
I can't even. I mean, he literally did that to start the game off, I think, last week and the week before. We got 5 yards, and then the very next play was empty. So,
he's building a formula, but to be honest with you, he has no scheme. He's just a play caller. He's not a schemer. He's just, all right, let's try this Hail Mary in triple reverse. But, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I know you got
Yeah, just one more. Appreciate you, Jake. Be safe out there.
All right, man. Take care, bro.
I still think Mike got his hand, firmly around Kellen's. You know how all my parents out here. I don't know if this is this a black folk thing? If you got a kid who's like kind of bad or he's having a bad moment, my kids aren't bad. But sometimes I could sense, you know your kids. Like, he's a little excited out here. He's settle the hell down a little bit. So you get to the mall, you get to the grocery store, you get to wherever the hell you're at. And especially if it's a son. Let me just say this. If you got a son and you just got your hand on his neck as y'all walking. Like, you ain't gripping it. You ain't squeezing it. You ain't pushing him or nothing like that. You just calmly got your hand on his neck. Sometimes my son watch. He know exactly what I'm talking about. We just a walking and I got my hand on his neck sometimes. Like, I'm just letting you know. If you try to wild out, which you don't, but you and your brother was tripping a little bit on the way out of here. A little crazy in the car. It's time to calm down now. Just letting you know. I'm here. Anybody else do that? Am I the only one? I ain't saying you squeezing hard or nothing like that. You just, come on, let's go. Sometimes you do put it on top of the head. You just, come on, man. But the neck make you know, oh, Dad ain't playing. And I just feel like that's Mike McCarthy right now.
Earlier in your play calling career, were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that?
Everything inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So but you learn, you grow.
Give me that neck. Me. You know what I'm saying? I just think Kellen, I think Mike got his hand there. Somebody says Sky out here choke slamming kids. No, I don't. Listen, I don't really have to do too much of that. You hit him with the, hey, shut down. You get to a point with boys, they just ain't scared of their mom no more for real, right? They really not. Let's be real. We all the men, we've been boys. We don't really. There's a certain point of age and time, and you ain't scared of your mom no more. She still might discipline you, but you ain't scared. But the minute, I'm gonna tell your dad, all that shut down. Oh, wait, let's compromise. For why? We don't need to do that, Mom. No. Let me clean up. Let me tidy up around here. We good. I feel like Mike McCarthy. I'm gonna tell you that. That's Mike. Got his hand just firmly there. So, because I haven't seen. Have we seen a trick play? I ain't seen a triple double dog dare reverse. In fact, he's so shook. We haven't even seen the Wildcat formation. The Wildcat formation ain't even crazy. So I don't know. I do have confidence in my guy, Mike McCarthy, to keep that pressure on him a little bit. Before I get to Los, y'all, shout out to those in the chat that, okay, you understand, y'all feel me on that, on the neck pressure right there. That'd be the fan focused comment of the day, presented by Boston Scientific. ED can affect your self-esteem and impact your most important relationships. So take a free online assessment that you can share with your doctor. Click the ad in the description. There's a permanent, satisfying solution to treat ED. Visit edcure.org to get the facts and find your urologist who can offer treatment options when others do not work. Again, that's edcure.org, sponsored by Boston Scientific.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. We'll do it live.
And my mom is probably listening to this. I love you, Mom. But yes, I just wasn't. Listen, you knew you was still going to get your ass whooped. You knew you was still going to get on punishment. But the fear, they ain't hurt no more, you know? Honestly, the punishment hurt me more than ass whoopings did after a point in time. I was just like, all right, whatever. I can go back outside, or I can go do something else. It was when you took away, I can't go to practice. I can't play baseball. All right, let me get more slick. But let's just be real, man. Respect never leaves. You always respect your mom. But that true fear, I think as an adolescent, as a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old boy, the mom got to up the ante. And I watched my mom up the ante to my brother. Boy, when I tell you I got some stories, you know. And what I mean by up the ante, no longer does the belt matter. No longer does getting popped upside the head matter. No. Now we got to go grab other things. Now we got to... What's the nearest thing by me? Because it's getting thrown at you. See, I never had it. That never had to happen to me because I wisened up. I said, well, so I just can't get caught. I just can't get caught. Don't get it twisted. There was legitimate fear for quite some time. I won't tell you all the full story. Just know me and my brother and a couple friends, we were in a certain, we was in trouble. And nobody else seemed to be worried. Me and my brother was worried. We was like, oh, Mom gonna whoop our ass. And so we just hear, where they at? Immediately we start crying because we know what's about to happen. And everybody else is just like, why y'all crying? You know my mom. You know what's about to happen. So there is legitimate fear. But then you get to a point where it's like, I don't hurt as much. I got a little slick. I don't want Kellen to get slick. And I think he tried to get a little slick in that Eagles game. And Mike McCarthy had to pull his ass back up in there. Y'all feel me? Mom's done came to the school. Flo. I think it was... What grade was Miss Watson? I don't know what grade Miss Watson was. Mom definitely came to the school and sat right in my class. And the problem then, I lived across the street from the damn school, so it wasn't hard for her. And y'all want to talk about coming to the school? Try your mom being the god dang secretary for a couple years. Oh! That might have been the most behaved I ever was. And I wasn't a bad kid at school, but I never was really a bad kid. But we kids, we boys, it happens. But when my mom was a secretary at my school, Mr. Kitchen, don't make me go get your mom and them. Oh, there's no need because she's right downstairs. So I'm chilling. Love you, mama. Los, what's good with you, Los? Send us out of here.
Good morning, Sky, man. I hope you're having a great morning. And I'm going to try to keep my call within a minute or two. Just
talk
so I
you
can
crazy.
get you out of here, all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, so if we come out here with a great game plan and play to our strengths, we win this game. Simple as that, Sky. And I think the moments we're going to realize Dak being back will help us is attacking down the field more, especially if they come after him with the blitz. And this secondary room of the Lions is allowing some of those wide receivers to run wide open, so we have to attack that. And to close, coaching can win you or lose a game completely by game plan or just the flow of a game, meaning how are you going to adjust? Because I'm still salty. I know this is a completely different sport, how the Mavs lost because of the ineptitude of the coach not calling timeouts. And I would be more pissed off if Kellen comes out here with an aptitude of not running the ball and just coming out here to air it out. Just because Dak is back doesn't mean you have to air it out.
Yeah.
But all the time. So Mike McCarthy, I don't know what you got to do to keep Kellen focused. Go get him some boom boom. If what Lady Jessica said is true or what she said, but yeah, that's all I have to say. Keep Kellen focused and keep his team focused.
Yeah.
And we'll win this game.
Yes, sir.
Guys.
Appreciate you, Los. Yeah, Kellen got to stay on track, man. There's no need to unload the clip. King got me said when Sky's mom walked in, he heard the taker bell. Yeah, that was literally the response me and my brother had when she banged on the police door. Oh man, y'all crazy. But Tuck, you had the audacity, the nerve, the gall to grab the belt, bruh. Ain't no way, dog. Unless it was an instinct, right? Like you just instinctually grabbed the belt. Yeah, no. Ain't no way. The worst is if you got siblings, and I'm gonna leave it at this. We off the rails. The worst is when you have a sibling, right? And sometimes your sibling gets you in trouble, your brother or whatever, and they first. I'd rather be first. Just let me be first, because then my brother got to the point where he became an actor. And Marcus, if you listening, you know what I mean, bro. You was doing. Oh, Law, send me the drop when somebody's getting whooped. He was doing the most. All the hollering and the screaming and the... Bro, she is not in there. Relax. Just take them and come on now, man. Because you making it seem like I'm about to walk into a murder scene. Because I'm next. And he would come out with his... And it was a point in time when that was real, but it was a point in time when he would come out and afterwards, he shrugged it off. Well, don't be screaming and hollering like that, dog. What the hell is you doing? Swain said, my brothers ain't shit. All right, man, we're going to get up out of here. If you enjoyed today's show and if you learned something, if you learned that the hand on the neck, just let them know you there. Hit that like button. I ain't asking for too much. If you're new and you enjoyed everything, you're like, man, this community's pretty cool, man. Good show. Like what I see. Let me check out some more things before I subscribe. Cool. But make sure you do subscribe because we have a good time over here. We do a lot of good things. It's a great community, man. Come back through tomorrow. It's a Friday. I need to bring back Feel Good Friday. It's a Friday, man. So right before we get the Dak return against the Lions. So last week, what did we do? I think we did X Factors. Maybe this week we'll do keys. Do we need keys? I got the keys. Let's do. We'll do either X Factors or keys. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Maybe maybe it'll just be a fan-driven show. We'll let y'all be the point guard of the show tomorrow. We'll see what's up. Later tonight is the final final show of the week of Mauricio Rodriguez on A to Z Sports Primetime. So make sure y'all come through for that, please. And then later on we got A to Z, the Volume, the Vosh Lombardi live show over on the Volume. If you missed it, you're not allowed to miss it. You're absolutely not allowed to miss it. And before I get out of here, we only had a couple super chats today, but let me get to those.
Super chat.
Below the Heavens, appreciate you. $2 donation. He says he's low key worse than Linehan. No Coochie Kellen. I'm so sorry because this is a family-driven show over here. I will admit it ain't over on Vacha's show. It's way different over there. But you had to be there. Samuel Rowe. He said yes, it is a black folk thing, not white Sam.
Super chat.
And then David J earlier said, "You think Kellen will get some after this game, Sky? You're not allowed to miss shows, man. Just come on over. About 306, 310-ish. Come on over. Come on over. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Let me press this button, man. I love y'all. Y'all the best." I did not. So I saw a couple of Mo's award show, a little bit of it yesterday. I actually might bring Mo on the show during the bye week and go over that. We'll run that back. We'll do a bye week special. I did like that, though. I did like that. All right, man, holla at me. Shout out to DFW Turf Ticker as well. Number one official turf in the DFW area. Check me out at Skywalker Still. Be out here on Twitter. Peace.
Bomb Squad!